Hey YouTube, can get over here with a Lightsworn deck list. I know I made one like last week, but like that one wasn't really working consistently, so I re-edited it and it's working way better. Like I've been topping with it way more and it's been really consistent. So here's the deck list, guys, and before I start, I'm just saying that this is for sell or trade. So if you guys are interested, it's still up. Like I had a couple offers, but they weren't really legit ones. So remember, guys, my main wants like either cash or tour guide or roach or leviar. Just not stupid offers, because I've been getting a lot of stupid offers lately. So here you guys, here's the deck list. I'll even explain each card, and also have the side and extra. But if you guys don't want that, that's fine. Well, here's just the deck list. Okay, 3 JD, obviously, the big boss monster. 2 Lila. Some people are running 1. I like 2, just because people still set. Even the 3 MSTs and heavies running around everywhere. So I like to, just push for the attack, and in main phase 2, just use its effect. So you get damage, you destroy a card, and you mill. Lumina, pretty much a staple in Lightsworn. Garroth, I mean, all you need is really just 1. Just so, if you want to push for more mills and draw. 2 Wolves, I don't like 3. Makes it really consistent, and it clogs in your hand. Because you still tend to draw them even when you have them at 2, or at 3, or even at 2, yeah. 3 or 2, you tend to like clog them, but 2's been working pretty fine for me. Just the one Aaron. Not a lot of people are sitting right now, but I probably would side a second one if I had one. But 1's working pretty good for now. Not a lot of people are setting. It's more like special summoning. 2 Celestia. A lot of people are actually only running 1 Celestia. I still like 2 Celestia. I don't know, Celestia likes to push. You just gotta be careful with Starlight. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty good. I like Celestia still. Honest, pretty much a staple in Lightsworn too. 2 Raikou. Sometimes this deck tends to need a little bit more like mill engine. So if you tend to draw this, you just usually set it and just, get whatever you need out of the way and you mill. It's pretty good. I wouldn't run more than 2. Card Trooper is pretty good. I like Card Trooper. It's a plus. You draw, you mill, and it's not too bad. It runs over a lot of stuff that's 19 beater, like Roach, Thunder King, like a lot of big monsters that stop this deck. So, the one Card Trooper is pretty good. I like it. Arcus. Arcus is really good. Especially when people don't expect it, you can just set it because it has the high defense and they might run into it and think it's a Raikou. And then main phase 2, you can just sack it for a Celestia. And he's also good if you want to protect your monsters in late game when you're scared they're going to pull out a big ass monster. So Arcus is pretty good. Jane's a really good beater. How it goes over a lot of stuff like Thunder King and Roach. That's why I have the Card Trooper. If I didn't have the Card Trooper, I probably would run a second Jane. I really like this card because it mills and it's also a high beater. And this deck tends to struggle against, like Thunder King and, Roach and stuff. Suneku Garna, pretty obvious because you're milling and you want to protect your monsters. Plague Spreader Zombie for those sinker plays. And same as Global. Gores for that extra protection, just in case if you tend to overextend, they get around it. So you can play around with Gores. 2 Effect Veiler. 2 Effect Veiler is perfect. I love Effect Veiler. I think it's like one of the most broken cards in this format right now, because Heavy's running around, so back row doesn't really care right now. It's honestly about the hands. I think this card is broken. I actually thought about running 3, but I mean, Lightsworn's already kind of inconsistent as it is sometimes. So 2's perfect, but I like this card a lot. It's too broken. South Effects is a tuner. This card usually isn't dead to me. It's really good. And especially how this format's going right now, effect monsters are really running shit over, like Tour Guide and stuff. Just 1 monster reincarnation. I'm not a big fan about this card. It's an egg, but sure, you can just grab the JD or do whatever. My text pot of the Avarice, I really like this card, especially in late game. You can just put, back to JDs, Honest, and whatever you need, back to the deck and draw. Pretty good. 2 MSC. Wouldn't run 3. Probably side it against, those random anti-meta decks or something. But 2 is just solid. Foolish for when you want to go to the synchro plays, like for global or plague, or just hit the wolf and go Celestia. Gives up a lot of plays. Monster Reborn obviously is a staple, so. And since he has Monster Reborn and Dark Hole. And then 2 Pot of Dualities. Pot of Duality does not get in the way with Lightsworn. I don't know why people say that. The only thing I can really see it get in the way is with Wolf. And by the way, I had a friend that told me to take these in. His name's Nico. It's pretty good. He plays Lightsworn too, and he told me about these, and I tried them in. They work really good. So I like them. I mean, sure, it could get in the way with Wolf. Usually it's not possible because it's only 2 wolves in the deck. But this deck really does help you draw really consistently. Like, say you have like a bunch of Lightsworn and you want to get the draw engine going, you'll search out and probably draw like a solar recharge or something, and you can speed up the deck a lot more. And even if it does hit the wolf, it's still a JD target. So either way, it's not really a loss. In my opinion, I don't think it is. So I really like 2 Pot of Dualities. And if you get the JD, you can honestly just stall out next turn and just go off. 3 solar recharges, obviously, for Lightsworn. Charge, obvious, too. Staple. 2 Beckoning Light. This card's pretty good. I actually would choose this one over Monster Reincarnation. I love this card because you grab more than just 1 monster. So, like in late game or something, you can just grab the JDs or whatever. You put your deck cards in the graveyard, and then this monster or Mirror Force just there. Okay, time to go for the extra deck. I got tokens. They're just there. And then the extra deck, what I would run. For my XYZs, I'd run Roach, Utopia, Leviathan, and Leviar. Yeah. Well, these 2 are pretty easy because there's a lot of 4-stars, like say Wolf, Jane, etc., etc. It's pretty easy. And with these, I don't know, like you tend to like say you like set an Arcus in like next turn, like and it's still sitting there, and you have like Necrogarna and you like summon it, and then you just like contact or whatever you call it, just go into one of these. It's pretty good. It doesn't sound as broken how I'm explaining it, but if you actually play with the deck and put these in, it actually does work. Army Iron. I tend to use it when I'm like really struggling in game. Like if I have like, say, like a Lumina and like a Global, I don't know, something like that, and you need to run over something, you get Army Iron. This should be a Librarian, I just don't have one right now, so Librarian over that. Rayonic, pretty much a staple in every synchro. Orient's really good. I've actually used him probably the most out of most of these cards in this extra deck. It's really good, in my opinion. I like this card a lot. Helps you go over really big synchros. Catastor, staple. Black Rose, staple pretty much. Trishula is also staple, especially in Lightsworn. It's really, really easy to make into 9, believe it or not. It's really easy. Colossal, for those big beaters, and if you just want to stall it out. Stardust, pretty much a staple too. Scrap Dragon, I like Scrap Dragon still. Scrap Dragon's really good. If you want to just destroy the Necrogarna or just some other monster you just want to get rid of, like Global, Plague. And Mistworm, when your opponents have those big swarm fields, like, I don't know, let's have like 2 synchros and XYZ, and you just want to get rid of it. It's easy, especially with Lightsworn. And then now with the side deck Z's, Chimera Tech and 2 Cyber Dragons, just because machines are still running around. I see a couple Machinas and Gadgets, so, just in case. And I also have Card Trooper, so that makes it, pretty easy. So that's all I really need aside for that. Warnings, like a lot of decks, like especially Agents and Plants, those are probably the worst matchups, especially Agents. I fear Agents, so I use these, Warnings, slows them down a lot. Third MST for those anti-metas that run a bunch of like back row still. Concentrated Lights for Blackwing players and Infinity players and whatever dark decks that are still good. Third Effect Veiler, I side into this a lot. Still really good, especially when I'm playing, like I said, Plants and Agents. slows them down a lot too, like with their Venus and stuff. Second Argus, just in case if I'm playing like Frog Monarchs or like some deck that still abuses effect monsters a lot. Kaiku's for mirror match or other decks that revolve around Grave or zombies or whatever. Actually, side BLS, I'm not really a big fan of it because I already have a lot of big boss monsters in the deck. So yeah, I use BLS. I like it when I side into it if I want to play aggressive. And the reason I side into it because it gives me 2 more targets, the darks, because I don't like removing my Plague or Necrogarna for BLS. I put those cards in my deck for a reason. I don't want to just remove them for no reason. So I use BLS for the side. And because the deck clogs a lot with boss monsters and Celestials and stuff, so adding another boss monster is very risky. But, you know, I'm trying it in the side. I like it so far. And 2 Thunder Kings. Just for a lot of decks right now, especially Mirror Match and just other stuff. And since it's light, I can abuse Thunder King more with Beckoning Light. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the deck, guys. That's the side deck, the extra deck, and the main deck. That's pretty much it. So that's pretty much Team Getter over here. If you guys want it, just PM me, just send me a message or a link to your trade binder. And no stupid offers. I'm seriously like done with all these dumb like offers. I'm just gonna ignore them. Not to be rude, guys, but you know, it's business. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Peace.